What's up guys, TC here, and welcome back to Starbound Nightly, and it is a long overdue episode, so we are going to jump right in. So first things first, you can see I'm in an asteroid field right now, and that's because they finally changed a little bit to the asteroid fields about how they generate. And so some of you guys might remember the asteroids used to generate with lots of ore, and now they generate with ore again, but it's not nearly as crazy as it used to be. So they have these big patches, like this, and I think there's another patch over here. Where is it at? There it is. This is copper here. And you'll see there's actually monsters here now, which it appears to be only these little whisper things. Die. There we go. Yeah, it appears to only be those little guys. And it also only seems to be kind of low-end ore, so like iron, copper, gold, platinum, I think tungsten maybe. So yeah, but yeah, it's actually more dangerous now because these little ghosts are everywhere. And yeah. So, after that, you probably have noticed that I have a new weapon in my hand. Maybe. Go away. Go away. There we go. Yeah, these little guys are everywhere. But, so, first things first here, I want to show you guys some of the new boss drop weapons. And they're pretty cool. So, essentially, these are, whenever you beat a boss, there is what I believe to be a 10% chance for them to drop a rare legendary weapon, which is specific to them. So, I'm going to kind of go in order of what I have in here in the inventory. So, first up, we have the Urkius Eye, which as you can see is you're kind of lugging around this big eye, and left click is this kind of a short range laser. It kind of sounds like the Urkius mission where he has that laser beam, and the secondary is kind of like a grenade launcher, and it's actually like a cluster grenade launcher really. Yeah, it's actually pretty strong, especially if you can hit him with that a direct impact with that thing. It does a lot of damage. Up next I have the Kluk staff. So this is the avian mission. And this one's pretty cool because it's similar to the rubium staff, and I think it'll get changed because you'll see it's actually these swords here. So I think that'll actually get changed to something a little bit different. But its secondary is kind of cool because this one actually gives you a rage buff, which none of the other staffs do. So it's very, very rare, and this would be great for like a support class. So your buddies are out attacking a monster or a boss. You can be providing support in the background with this thing. You can even do it yourself. You just gotta be quick. So you charge it here. And as long as you stay within it, you'll have the rage effect, as you can see up here, and it lasts a decent amount of time. Up next, we have the what is this, Bone Dragon? Yeah, the Bone Dragon pistol. Now, I should warn you, two of these are kind of bugged right now. This is one of them. As you can see, it doesn't do anything left or right click. It's actually one-handed. Or I was gonna do this episode last week when these were all added, but like at one point, like half of them were added and they all worked, and then they added the other half, and then they stopped working. So I've been debating on when to do this episode, and I just wanted to get it out there. So the Bone Dragon's a one-handed thing, so you could have two of them, and essentially it's like a charge-up weapon. So it's kind of like you could click it several times to shoot a bunch of small blasts, or you can charge it up to shoot one big one. Up next, this one's bugged as well. It's the Ixodum Claw. It's actually a hammer, and you can tell he's just holding it like really weird right now. When it was working earlier this week, it functioned like an actual proper hammer, and its secondary was like a weird web thing. It shoots like a string of web along the ground. Up next we have the Solus Katana. So this is from the Hylodal mission, and so you can see it's kind of one of those new weapons that kind of it turns on, you know, which I like that actually because it glows, gives you a good like lighting when it's with you, and it's got a really powerful secondary called, I think it's Kunai Blast. Yeah, Kunai Blast. So essentially you jump and you left click and it shoots these 3 blasts out, and these things are really strong. They're kind of hard to guide because it's kind of like a pre-angled type thing, so you have to make a very accurate jump, but it's a very damaging attack. This is actually, in my opinion, one of the best weapons in the game just because of that attack. Up next, you might notice this Minignon launcher, which is this was in an episode I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah, they just renamed it. It's really just a one-handed rocket launcher that you can charge up to 4 rockets, or you can just shoot individuals. This is a lot like what the Bone Dragon pistol is, but instead of it being rockets, it shoots fireballs. Up next, what do we have? Oh yeah, and this is, so, someone from Chucklefish asked me not to show you guys the final mission, so out of respect for that, I'm not going to, but I will show you the legendary weapon drop from the final mission, which is called the Intestine Whip. It doesn't do anything special yet, but I think you can kind of gather from that what the last mission might be about. So yeah, it's kind of gross. One other weapon that was added it's not a legendary drop, I don't think. It's called the Charge Gun. I showed you guys that, and I think it's going to be changed to something else because it used to shoot like blasts, and now it shoots snowballs that have like a freeze effect. So you can shoot up to 3 like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. One other thing I'm sure you guys have been wondering, I recorded a video yesterday, I didn't even think about it, is the this new hotbar. It's really strange. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. Some people like it. I'm not liking it. It's not because it's a confusing hotbar. It's actually even more easy to understand, but with the simplicity comes a lack of, I guess a lack of customization. You kind of lose things. And so what it is, it's not really a hotbar. What this is actually a shortcut. So for instance, what you're going to notice is that, like, pretty much this isn't a place to store things anymore. You used to be able to store things here and in your hotbar. Now if I were to put this up here, you'll see it's actually still in my inventory. So what this is it's actually just a shortcut. So it's a little bit of a different thing. And yeah, you can customize. It's like for things like this, it's a lot easier. So like when it comes to dual wielding stuff, it's a lot easier to figure it out. But I think the trade-off is worse because, for one, you get overall, like, I think it punishes two-handed weapons, kind of. And it also makes it kind of weird because I used to like to run around with one-handed weapons. Like, I would have like you had those two slots here that you could, like, I would always put a shield in my right hand, and then a bunch of one-handed weapons over here. That way I could have my, like, a shield and a pistol, a shield and a short sword, a shield and a grenade launcher. You know, give you a lot of variety. This new one here, you have to have, I would have to have 2 sets of all of these to put them in there to have weird variety. So I kind of hope they'll switch it back. Another thing to point out is our inspection mode, that thing where you used to have to hit, I believe it was I, to kind of look at things on around and like kind of inspect them, is now a part of your hotbar, and it actually has a built-in flashlight. You can't see it here. Let's see if I can show you guys real quick. It's pretty dark down in this little cave. So yeah, you'll see the inspection mode now has a built-in flashlight onto your matter manipulator. So this is kind of a big deal. This is definitely going to make things a little bit easier, but I think in a way it's kind of killing the usability of a flashlight. So I'm not sure how much I like that or not. And all this is subject to change as usual. This is the nightly for a reason. So anyways, I kind of hope they change up this hotbar thing. I'm not liking it. It also makes it hard to build because basically materials take up 1 slot. So if your matter manipulator is one-handed, this will be fine. But essentially what this means is, instead of us having 10 slots to build with materials, you now only have 6. Right? So it's kind of nerfed that. And if you want to get things out of your hotbar, you just right-click it. And again, it's not really in your hotbar. It's really just a shortcut to your inventory. So what I've noticed is when it comes to trying to build stuff, you have to kind of keep your inventory open, and it's really just easier to just build from your inventory. But I don't really like that as much as having it on my hotbar. So I'm hoping they at least give us the option to return to that one. And one last thing, there is a brand new species added to this, to the game. Now, it's not a playable species, so I don't want you guys to get too excited. But they're called the Finneroks. And I think they're like based off of Finnick foxes. I think that's what their names are based off of. And you find them in savanna biomes in those kind of like hut-looking things. If you're interested, I actually have a friend of mine who is working on making these guys a playable race, like a mod. So whenever he gets around to completing that, I will let you guys know and you can download it, because quite a few people like these guys, but they're not a playable race just yet. But I'll let you guys know when that's done. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. There is one more thing that's being added. It's not completed, but the assets are in the nightly. I really can't show you too well. But we're getting like chicken farming and stuff like that. And some of you might know from my prior episode that there were chickens in the game and you'd have to catch them with capture pods. But I think proper chicken and egg farming is coming, because now there's going to be like proper chicken eggs, proper chicken feed, stuff like that. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. And if that comes up, I'm going to make probably make another farm on it, just like I made a Fluffalo farm. So we'll see. But anyways, that's going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.